senior criminal lawyer, Mr. Majid Memon, joining us on the phone line. Mr. Memon, after 12 days, finally Kanda has been arrested. What sort of questioning, interrogation is he likely to face from the police at this stage? Because he has evaded arrest, considering there was a non-bailable warrant as well that was issued against him.
You see, to say that he was evading arrest may not be altogether a correct expression, because he had presented himself through a petition to his counsel to the Learned Sessions Court for grant of anticipatory bail unsuccessfully, and thereafter he had also approached the High Court for the same right. Unfortunately, he did not succeed. Therefore, it cannot be said that he was totally unavailable or untraced, because in law, when you are before a court, that must be taken into account. Nonetheless, 12 days, very important period of 12 days has since elapsed, and certainly this was a very crucial period considering the status of the accused, because this accused who happened to be a home minister in the past, and therefore definitely he is a highly influential person, and the apprehension that he would have tempered or he may have indulged into some activity which may be detrimental to the interest of truth and justice, does bear some substance. I would suggest that a person of his stature should have, on the day one, approached the investigating officer, even with his lawyer, and would have offered whatever explanation was sought, which unfortunately was not done. And therefore, I think now that he has surrendered, he may not be entitled to bail immediately. The court, judicial officer, would consider the merits of both sides, the prosecution case as well as the defense plea of his liberty and the accusation, etc., and may, in my humble view, grant a short remand for the purpose of custodial interrogation, so that the investigating agency, gets relevant material by his custodial interrogation.
Right, Mr. Memon, evidence is all important here. How crucial is his being there in the suicide note? Because there needs to be more evidence, corroborative evidence, to prove that he actually pushed this 23-year-old girl to the edge, forced her to commit suicide. In that sense, the other evidence, be the meals exchange or her employment contract that she had with the MDLR Airlines, which is owned by Gopal Kanda. How important is all that evidence?
That's right. You see, that is very important evidence which needs to be very carefully and selectively collected, because the pursuit of the investigator is to find out that the act committed by the young girl, ending her life, taking the extreme step, how much was it connected with the act or act of omission on the part of the accused, main accused, namely Mr. Kanda. And that evidence needs to be collected and placed before the court, and then naturally that may be a different story with regard to making out a waterproof case, foolproof case against the accused. That is by the matter of trial. But as far as bail is concerned, you see, now I think his provisional interrogation for the purposes of furthering the cause of investigation should be enough. And he cannot be denied bail as a part of punitive measure or as a punishment or to satisfy the sentiments of the aggrieved people. There may be a lot of publicity. We have been seeing the brother of the deceased who has been in grief, complaining that, well, this man should be arrested and be behind bars. He can't be behind bars as a part of punishment for the presumed offense that he has allegedly committed. He can only be kept in custody to facilitate the progress in investigation, and it is only thereafter that he would be tried. And one more thing which is very necessary for all of us to note is that the allegation against him is for an offense of abetment to suicide, which is not punishable in law by death or imprisonment for life, and therefore bail cannot altogether be refused. It's only a matter of time when he should be granted bail. Nonetheless, the courts would certainly be on guard to ensure that while he is granted bail, and if he is on bail during the pendency of further investigation or trial, he must be prevented from misusing his powers or tempering evidence in any way. That is the only circumstance which can refuse bail to him. And I think Mr. Kanda and his counsel would make a solemn assurance to the court that as a citizen of this court and a law-abiding, law-respecting person, he would not tamper with the evidence and would surrender himself to the procedure established by law.